So Opium is on a generational run, literally, unlike how most kids try to use the word these days. To me, at this point, it's pretty much undeniable that we will look back at this time in music and recognize how Playboi Carti and his label dominated the soundscape, influenced so many younger artists, as well as the aesthetic of the way that many people choose to dress. Now, one of the Opium Lieutenants, Destroy Lonely, has dropped another album, and Love Lasts Forever. And I personally have not been the biggest fan of Destroy Lonely's full bodies of work. I always find a few songs that I really love. Like on the last album, I loved If Looks Can Kill, I loved Money and Sex, and Nunu. I listen to those all the time. But historically, I found his whole projects to be a bit underwhelming, mainly due to production choices. And the way that he raps is often so one note. If the beat isn't really slapping to me, I just kind of get bored. But this album is different in the fact that Lone has really picked beats that really pop out to your ear. And this project for sure held my attention. For as long as it is, Love Lasts Forever is a pretty simple album. In my opinion, it's just an album full of high energy bangers. At least those are the highlights for me, albeit with some dry spots here and there. The intro to the first track was a cool artsy intro, but the whole song failed to keep up that energy for me. Love Hurts with Uzi was a major highlight, kind of like a formulaic Uzi song that definitely worked with him and Lone on the song together. I didn't really like the singles Love For Ya and the track after that, Get Right, kind of boring to me. But from Crystal Clear all the way down to Wish You Well, I could not find a song that I didn't like. Outside of maybe the repetitiveness of Lock In, I especially love the down south Houston-esque flavor of Pimp Talk, and Wish You Well is likely the best complete record on the whole album. But a section I thought was a bit dry was Ship Her Off Until About Money. It felt like the energy just kind of dropped off at that latter half of the album, and the song started to fade into the background of my mind as I listened. As for the bonus tracks, the only one that I really gravitated to was No Worries, and the final track, Prettiest One, was a more mellow track that I thought actually translated well. It reminded me of something that Travis Scott might do. To me, this album was really heavily influenced sonically by Future, a palette of sounds that made it super easy for me to listen to and plays into what I really like. And lyrically, there's nothing really of substance there. It's opium, it's about drugs and hoes and clothes, but that's fine. But overall, I really like this album a lot, especially on the second and third listens through, and definitely more than either of his previous projects. Scoring Destroy Lonely, Love Lasts Forever a 7.5 out of 10.